All right, so um, today, when I had time, uh, I was thinking about this problem, which is basically detecting the difference between when we drop the second voice and when, wait a second, yeah, when it's just not finished and we continuing playing notes. So the biggest difference here and the solution that I came up today in my head, I haven't implemented, but basically follows and basically consists of just one variable. So, I mean, it's always exciting when you can find solution for a difficult problem, which basically based on one particular variable. And this variable is the maximum time when when the latest note has been played in any given measure, because time progression is a sort of measurement for the whole duration of the note. But what I'm talking about is just detecting the time when a note starts playing. And in my head, that solution was extremely simple, and I want to implement this in a code. So, but first, but first let's run all the tests just to be sure that I didn't screw all the tests, just only the examples. So yeah. Okay, so there are some failing tests, but they were failing before, so I kind of expect that, so it's alright. Now, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna declare for each measure. Just let me find where we start doing the measures. Alright, and I'm gonna declare a variable. By the way, there is also problem that I was thinking today, is how to decide to create a new function. Because of course you wanna have small files in order to contain all the logic, but I was thinking like, what's a really good reason to create a new function? I don't know. I still don't know the answer to that question, because sometimes you want to expose your logic so that you can easily abstract things and easily understand in your head what's going on. On the other hand, there are a few things that you just don't want to know, and it's okay to hide them. And maybe I'm just thinking aloud, is like maybe the good reason of creating a function is the fact that it has the lowest probability of you looking into that file. You know what I mean? Like, because I have all my functions in separate files, and I think the good reason to create a function is when you sure that you unlikely even open that file, because that's how you wanna kind of like create that abstraction, right? So I don't know. I'm just thinking that might be a good indicator of or reason to create a function. Because avoiding copy paste, if you create a function just to avoid a copy paste, I think it makes sense on the first glance, but the more I think about it, the more questions appears in my head. So yeah, probably. I think that, I don't know. Maybe two reasons: copy paste. Not all the copy paste, of course, but for majority cases of to avoid copy paste, and also the reason that you would probably don't worry about that function, you just call it and it works perfectly fine, and you can trace the logic, because like you won't reduce the complexity of your code just by extracting as many functions as you want. I mean, it doesn't work like that, because when it comes time to fix bugs or to adjust something, you have two choices. You have choice reading a really long file like this one, not only vertically but horizontally in my case, but also you have another option of going deeper and deeper into the files and trying to keep all those things in your head. I mean, it's your choice. I think I'm trying to find a balance, and yeah, it's extremely difficult to decide. And also there are a few things that you want to achieve, like the readability of your code and etc. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the correct answer for all the cases, but maybe I can develop a theory around it. And but again, I think that theory without practice is just useless thing. So maybe in 20 years we can meet again, and maybe maybe I will have finalized opinion on that. So yeah, I don't know, man. Let's assume that, yeah, whatever. Because like if you remember the last time, I just extracted this function into this code, and I realized, hey, wait a second. For me, it would be much better if it's not wrapped with the function, and I can control all the variables here, and I will easily understand what's going on here and there. So yeah, I mean, probably. Or for example, here we are just ordering time frames by specific arguments, right? And do I really need to like copy paste the same thing here multiple times? Not really. So this is a good case. There is also a problem of creating patterns, where like you decide, okay, so this thing follows this rule, therefore I will follow it, and we'll call it a day, right? But sometimes following the rules might hurt even more than disobeying them. So that's how it's yeah, this is why it's so tricky, and I don't know, just some thoughts on that. All right, so the solution, right? So where I was trying to create a variable. So yeah, so of course it's not a constant, it's a changing variable, and it will be called max time. I don't know even how to call it. I just had some first two words like max time. Max time of okay, or rather let's call it this way, time of the last node, or I don't know. Time of the last nodes when they start, time of the last nodes when they start being played. That sounds really weird. Maybe I should get help from ChatGPT, but let's train our fantasy, right? Time of the last notes, because like it's possible that some notes are being played at the last moment, so you never know. So yeah, time of the time of the last notes, time of the last notes in this measure, time of the last notes in this measure. Or let's say time of the last sounds starting playing, start playing, time of the last sounds start playing in this measure. And we can call it, how we should call it, yeah, I think the only available variable here is this one. Or we just can assign it as undefined, right? I don't know, maybe. Let's leave it as undefined because I feel like it will make more sense. Okay, so because I don't want to ruin the whole synchronization thing, anyways, time of the last sounds start playing in this measure. Time of the last sounds, and that start playing in this measure. Anyways, I hope this variable will make sense after any period of time. So, and now I need to find a place where I actually do this wonderful thing. So we are adding unit durations in seconds, and we have like this thing. So yeah, I'm just curious how this thing works with grace notes, because it might be quite crucial. Okay. Okay, now I'm curious where this thing is being used. Yeah, in grace note time adjustment, because I'm gonna analyze this thing further since I had this thing, so in my plan. Okay, here it is. And yeah, we're just adding this adjustment by crazy calculations, and it seems like works quite fine. Yeah. All right. So it seems like we manipulating this thing only here, so it means that time regressions for time of the last sounds, and this thing is just will be called this thing, right? Because it means when we start playing this thing, so to speak. But yeah, I need also check if this particular thing is less than this particular thing, and only then I will kind of like assign this. And also I think if this thing is undefined, then yeah. Okay, so this is good, I guess. Let's move it like this. Okay, so if this is happening, we're just assigning this thing. And now, just using this variable, right? Because like this whole thing is for, I believe, is for measures, yeah. So. So how we go about that? So time progressions mean like we it means that we have played, or rather those are max times in each measure. And in this particular case, if this particular thing is less than time of last sounds being played or started being played, is higher, is more than this value, then we're cutting the, or rather we're assigning to that time progression as undefined, meaning that in this particular case we don't do anything, because yes, this thing is less than like the whole duration of this quarter note, but this note is being played once, and afterwards we don't see any notes being played, right? So we actually are not assigning to undefined this voice for time progressions, of course. But here it's last this sound and this sound, and here we'll understand that, okay, so this value here, if this sound longs that much, it's less than this note being played, or started being played, the moment of when you pressed the keys. And then it means that, okay, so this thing doesn't make any sense, and we assign it as undefined. Yeah, that's at least the logic, and we are going through those things, and so yeah, this is why this thing makes total sense with undefined and like this condition as well, because it potentially can be like that no, at least one voice will have those things, right? So yeah, but right now I have a question, like, we doing like streak comparison or streak or equal comparison? So. Yeah, I think streak comparison, it would make more sense. Alright, so anyways, if this thing is strictly less than time of the last sounds that start playing in this measure, then we are just assigning this thing as an undefined, and we're just continuing iterating over the voices. So yeah, that's how simple is that. Yeah. And since this is undefined, we are assigning time progression for all measures. Or if it's not undefined, well, we're just continuing like in this example. By the way, I need to create a test for this as well, which I will do as the last thing. And yeah, in this case, we're just continuing playing this note, and when it's time, we're starting playing those notes as well. So yeah, it should work. All right. Yeah, basically that's the solution. So let's run the tests again and hope that and hope that we will get the desired results. So okay, we have one less failing test, which is always good. So yeah, let's listen. Oh yeah, that's closer to the truth. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's such a simple solution, but I mean, it's a simple solution, but it's extremely difficult to understand if you are not in the context of the problem. And I feel like the biggest challenge is just not to write the code, if I'm being honest. It's just to develop a theory around how you program it, like how you apply your music knowledge and apply it to create a music software which allows you to create music score and also export it into different formats, including like media. And I mean, how many years I need to spend in order to write a book about it, you know what I mean? Or like even series of articles. Because I don't feel like it's enough to give world the code base, because it wouldn't teach anything. Nobody would read through this code, although it's written like a book. I mean, with all long explanations of what each variable do and etc. etc. But I'm just curious how much difference it would make if I write this thing as a book, like theoretical book on how to implement those things. I mean, it's just insane amount of variables that you can see here, and I don't know, maybe there are simpler solutions, but again, how can I explore them in a theory without the practice, right? So I mean, again, this is why software development is extremely difficult. I don't know how to call it, even activity that you can imagine. So yeah, it's amazing. So let me just restart npm run unison restart, so I can update test by the button. And yeah, that works perfectly fine. Now let's go to the second example. I'm pretty sure that I will hear the right version, but still. Yeah. Alright, so let's update this test as well, and here we go. So I suspect, okay, let's listen to the first version. Now let's listen to this. Okay, so maybe there are some slight differences in the MIDI, but not in the sounds. Okay, so let me now run them again. Okay, some of the tests are not Yeah, let's update this one and see. Okay, now let's run the linter just for a sec. Okay, yeah, there is one variable which is not used, and this one, yeah. Actually, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, now what we are going to do, we're probably going to delete this file. So let me run the linter one more time. Perfecto. And of course, I almost forgot, we need to add this interesting test. So I'm probably gonna use different node here. Here we go. Well, let's render it. Yeah. Okay, so now let's render. Let's call it cross, or maybe just syncing 1.txt. npm run test audio create syncing 1. No such file, Okay, yeah, because I created it in the wrong folder. Let me delete this thing. Let's go here. Syncing 1.txt. Syncing 1.txt, or rather, just simply in the name. Let me create a test. Okay, let's listen to it. Okay, let's just add some tempo, which is like quarter equal 50. Do 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 do. Bum ba bum bum ba bum 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 bum. Okay, yeah, it works. All right, that is good. Yeah. Yep. Anyways, I need to focus on more specifically on the errors and etc. because I thought for a second about some stuff. Anyways, fix cross measure syncing of times of notes being played. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm already happy with the progress because I struggled with that couple of days, so it's always nice. Yeah, something very loud, just was out of my window. Oh my god, I can hear it even now. It's just insane. People are just insane. Okay, so github.com. Anyways, let me open my wonderful Unison project, and let me just create the branch. Okay, so there are some unfortunates. Okay, now let me actually this wasn't quite good solution, but anyways, let me just check out the master. Let me pull the changes. Let me okay, now let me go here and say cross measure syncing, and let me stash. Okay. Oh, there are so many conflicts. What's going on? Can I just abort this? What's going on? Why this is even a thing? I just pulled the changes. What's going on? Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Git. How do I even delete those things? Which branch? Okay. Can I just do all the files? No. Okay. How it changed the situation? I mean, it does not change any situation. How do I stash those things? Needs merge. Okay, whatever. Let's merge this thing. Let me go to the master, please. Okay. Okay, let's copy this thing. Now let's go to the new branch, which is git checkout -b cross measure sounds syncing git cherry pick, of course. Alright. Yeah. Now let's push the changes and see if those changes are correct. Alright. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, seems like those changes are correct. Alright. I wanna wait till the whole thing passes. I I'm just curious how much time it would take. It seems like I improved it because I deleted some of the longest tests because they're kind of like stable, and I believe they will always be stable. But simply they just cost too much. They run like forever because they actually test some time, like how to say, they test timings of self-deleting indexes in MongoDB. I don't remember how they called, but something like that. And let's go to the details and hopefully, yeah. So the linter is quite fast, although there are a lot of folders to process. And yeah, I'm just curious about the coverage. The coverage is really good. And proud, and I would say even happy with that. Although I will be ultimately happy when it reaches 90, maybe 100%, but I mean it's gonna take a while. But it's all good. Here I'm just testing my email logic. There are of course some Docker Mongo container tests which I just run for fun. I don't think there are any errors, but yeah, there are a lot of tests on DB API, which I call it. Like, I run all the migrations. For the moment it's just 17 migrations, which is a decent number. Of course you always want to have less of them, but I think it's manageable. And yeah, in general I think my database is designed quite nicely. It was more complicated before than it's now, so yeah. So let's see what it brings here. So yeah, another thing that it really loads the IO because I run many tests simultaneously, I would say, because DB tests are primarily IO tests, so to speak. So yeah. Yeah, it works quite nicely. Now I'm just testing visual stuff, which won't take a lot of time. Oh my god, I have some failing visual tests. And I think I missed them at some point. Oh my god, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. Huh. Okay. So when it started, which is weird. But they fail for, I think, specific reasons. Okay, interesting. Oh wow, even this. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let me run the visual tests. I didn't know that, wow, there are some really failing visual tests. Okay. Alrighty. I mean, chart progressions are extremely difficult to predict what's going on here. Or just let me see. Oh, page height? Wow, okay. It's failed for SVG. Okay. Just curious what's going on. Okay. Let's update it, I guess. What's now? SyncBank, wow, that's really bad. Although I don't, yeah, it's because of page height, I suppose, right? I don't see major differences, but anyways. Okie dokie. Let me go through those tests again. Yeah, I don't see major changes here. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, I think they're all related to page height or some sort. Oh, right. I just remembered. Because page height used to be like a string. And now it's like a number. So yeah, but it doesn't change anything dramatically, so it's all good. Okay. I'm glad that I noticed now, because it would drive me crazy later, because it's harder to remember what's going on with all those stuff. And let me just fix test for Leland, because, you know, I have multiple music fonts, and of course the more fonts you have, the just multiply the number of styles for each of them. So yeah. And also there is a bug in this view which I need to find time to fix. Not critical, but again, it's quite annoying to have. Okay, so fix visual tests. Okie dokie. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we should restart the build. Which is nice. Okay. Okay. Now I need to come up with some plan. Maybe I can do something more today, or maybe I can just think about some stuff that I need to focus on following days. So yeah, something in that nature. So let me just figure out what's going on with my plan. So I handled cross measure syncing, which I thought I wouldn't be able to that quickly, although it took a couple of days, but I mean, it's like nothing compared to the scale of the problem. Of course, now I need to revisit grace time adjustments edition, which we're doing like here, for example, and like here, right? I need to figure out, is this kind of like right place to do or whatever. Maybe rename some variables, made it clear and stuff like that. Handle measures with repeat dots. I need to handle this thing, which is not difficult right now because I have cross page support. And coders and our repeat signs, it's also relatively not that difficult. Volta brackets, it's a bit trickier, but still nothing extraordinarily difficult. Measure rests. I don't know. Those are kind of like tricky in the sense that probably I need to figure out. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I need to kind of like figure out how to handle those. I have some ideas, so yeah, it wouldn't take a lot of time. Brave marks. The only question for brave marks I have is should I consider tempos or not in the for this. The same goes for fermatas as well because they have the same behavior. Although brave marks are in the middle of measure, whereas handle measure fermatas kind of like, or rather, sorry, yeah, measure fermatas like at the end of measures. I'm very happy that I did this. I'm very happy I did this because I mean those are extremely annoying things to deal with. And dynamics, it will be really, really similar to what I've done with, other things. I don't know. Yeah, like using covers and stuff for clefs, for keys before notes and stuff like that. So yeah, microtones, it's a extremely difficult thing. Maybe I need to sort them out, you know. Let's put what I did here just to pretend that this is how I planned from the beginning. Yeah, now although I kind of liked chaotic markings before, but nonetheless this thing should go like almost at the end. So yeah, I think those things are relatively easy to do. Kinda easy. Handle slurs, tremulous, arpeggiated chords, handle articulations, ornaments. Yeah. Kinda difficult. And the ultimate boss, of course, this one. So yeah, but you know, if our life all without challenges, it's quite a boring life, and I'm quite happy with the progress. I mean, considering how much progress I'm using, like progress of the humanity that's been created before even I was born. So it's not really a challenge, it's just temporary problems. At least I hope so. So yeah. All right. So build is successful, which is good always. So let's confirm and merge it. Maybe I need to be more patient. You know, I immediately all the time merge it. I know that this feature will not be deployed, but again, although I'm going, of course, update tests remotely. Git, or how I would call it, remote pro, or how I would, yeah, remote git pull, I guess, yeah. Okay, so I pulled all the changes. Okay, so basically, yeah, I'm quite happy with the current progress, that I don't want to ruin my mood right now with another problems, and I think I just need to recharge from the, even for the previous really tough week, and yeah, I just need to get some sleep. I've been like streaming for an hour, which is not that long, but yeah, it's almost 11 here, and or rather, yeah, it's half an hour before 11. Yeah, I'm not super tired, but I don't know. I just want to finish right now because I'm really happy with the progress I made, and yeah, I guess that's about it.